Now, is this also, I'm going to put this out there, was this done on purpose to force the 16 to be voted on and handled now? You
It
make it
may have
as
been.
messy and as chaos on purpose to be like, look, this is the reason why we need 16, because then it expands media deal that gets four more teams in. It reduces the pressure. It's not going to reduce the pressure on the committee because that 17 and that 18 team are going to be crying,
Mhm.
bleeping, and moaning to get in. And they're going to be like, oh, well, we should do 24. No, 16 is the
No.
farthest it should be because look, whoever's 17 in the country has no business winning the national championship. You're
Mhm.
17 for a reason. Even looking out the top of my head, was it USC or Utah will be number 17? Probably
It
what it comes out to.
God bless it. It would have been people would have lost their mind because it would have been Notre Dame, BYU would have been included, and then Texas and Vanderbilt. And you again, I get it. The SEC is a huge moneymaker. I get it. There's great football being I will again, I'm one that will scream SEC bias and I'll scream and be critical of certain aspects of it. But I also will not be the person to say that it's not good football being played. I'm not going to sit there and say like the teams suck or anything like that. But do you want to like, there's a huge chunk of people that watch games up north. There's a huge chunk of people that watch in the Midwest and the West Coast and stuff like that. I get it. The SEC in the Southeast is a huge viewership, but you want to start turning people off. It's just if you constantly just include if you go to 16 and Vandy and Texas is in there and SEC has 7 out of 16 teams in the playoff, you want to start turning people off?
Well, and then you have a USC Vanderbilt conversation
Right.
because look,
I would
but here's Utah's not winning this championship.
no, they're not.
Georgia Tech had blown their chance to be in the top 15. Like so there are circumstances. But then
Mhm.
you have that USC conversation of who they played, and they've actually been they weren't competitive in Oregon. That's the lasting memory of the Oregon game.
Mhm.
It wasn't that great. But they do have wins over Michigan earlier, and they've shown some progress and growth. But to your point, yeah, like you can't have it all be the SEC. I'm not just an advice that I want to be. I think Diego Pavi would be the reason why they got Vanderbilt in is just to keep that Heisman Trophy campaign.
Mhm.
But you can't go farther than 16 because
You
they're
can't.
any 17, 18, 19, 20, the resume and regular season got to matters. If not, then the point you might as well fill out
Make
of what
the
just
at the beginning of the
draw them
season.
all, fill out preseason rankings, and then you draw the names from a hat and you fill out brackets. And every week you don't know who you're playing next week. You just sort of filter through a bracket, you know, from what is it, 134 teams. You know, you might as well just have, Ohio State opens up with Bowling Green and Georgia opens up with Georgia Southern and, 1 for 16 matchup and you just kind of filter your way to, New Year's Day when you play for a natty. Which the part of the intrigue is I have the schedule. I'm buying my tickets. I'm waiting for that road trip. That's gonna be a tough
Right.
environment. The bracket's like, all right, well, I guess you're in my region, so I got to play you. But the regular season would become null and void. So 16 got to be the stop. But I'm really truly believing now that they did this, they took advantage of the opportunity to really screw it all up and make it terrible and have it respect to Bob Cheney or Chesney or whatever his name is, Cheney, and the JMU Dukes. Congratulations, great. You're on the radar truly because of what Kurt Cinetti did there, and then he left. You won the Sun Belt. Awesome. Fantastic. You're going to get the doors beat off of you. And so, Oregon's second stringers compared to your entire depth, it's going to be revealed very quickly. It's going to be a beatdown. There is a
Mhm.
reason why it's the Sun Belt. You look at the strength of schedule, I think it was James Madison had a 127th out of 134 teams. There's a reason why they're 11-1 or 12-1 with the conference title. You played the worst, almost worst schedule imaginable. You had a cakewalk. You are
Mhm.
now going to feel the repercussions of that. You're going to get the glory. You're going to get the money for being on TV. Great. But you're going to get the door beat off.